If oil prices go up, US elections are just 1 month away, November 2024. And oil prices are to a very great extent determine the destiny of Kamala Harris. America opens up its coffers. Washington says, take whatever, we'll supply you with everything, with money, with arms and ammunition, the best ones, blah, blah, all those sort of things. You see, there are both global, economical, and political perspective to it. There's a political perspective to it as well, which would impact the economy. The political perspective is that there is a healthy voice rising throughout the West, which is saying that we cannot sustain this war. This is getting too much on us. So the blind support for Israel is not finished, but it is diminishing. It is going down slowly and gradually. Even in the US, those sort of voices are being heard. In the UK, those sorts of voices are being heard. In Europe, in fact, very effective voices are now being heard in Europe against this blindfolded support for Israel and what they have done to Gaza, the humanitarian impact of it. So there are things like that is happening, which is impacting both Israel and the establishment in the United States and the West as well. Now, what does that mean economically? That even now, when there are question marks, let's say that last week Hurricane Helen came over and there were 139 or 140, again, the figure maybe I'm just talking offhand right now, people died in that hurricane. So that means the investment required in infrastructure was missing. And it is missing. You could see it all around. In Toronto, where I live, there are two major highways that are being used, 401 and 403. And to cover 50 kilometers, you are spending an hour and plus at times, because those are so blocked. So infrastructure requires a lot of investment here, which is missing even in the US and in many places. Homelessness is common in the US. So, but at the same time, when this sort of scenario comes up, America opens up its coffers. Washington says, take whatever, we'll supply you with everything, with money, with arms and ammunition, with the best ones, blah, blah, all those sort of things. Now that is impacting people. People are thinking, what is this going on? We are not getting that money. Whatever is required to be spent here is not being spent, and you are sending it down. So the positive feelings about Israel is going down. Now, coming to the economical impacts of it. A recession, and let me repeat, or at least stagflation could be on cards if this happens and the oil prices go up. If the oil prices go up, it would impact everyone in the world, and people would start again blaming Israel more and more for that. And especially that would happen if Iran, Israel, and the US get involved militarily into that area, of which the prospects are there. Although as yet, Iranian response has also been very measured, one has to say. Despite Ismail Haniya's killing, despite Soleimani's killing, despite the killing of his general in Damascus, despite Syed Nasrullah's killing, despite the attempts on Hashim Saifuddin early Friday morning, all these things, but as yet, the Iranian response has been measured. The rhetoric was much more higher. The actual response was measured. And because although they don't have any common borders with Israel, that for sure, but through Hezbollah and through Lebanon, they could have gone militarily, but that would have been suicidal. Now, sending out military missiles and those, they know that Israelis have got a dome, so not every missile that they send out would be effective. This happened last time as well. In April, this happened this time as well. So all said and done, if these three countries get involved militarily, that could mean stagflation. And that would mean the life would get very, very difficult in this part of in the western part of the world, and people would be reacting to it. Now, there's another aspect to it. If oil prices go up, elections, US elections are just 1 month away, November 2024. And oil prices are to a very great extent determine the destiny of Kamala Harris. If oil prices go up, and if it spikes, prices would go up. Those are not government controlled there. So the prices would go up. And if that would go up, that would mean at the gas station, next door gas station, everyone, including me here, will have to pay a considerably higher price per liter or per gallon. That would mean that economy would get to a standstill with energy prices going up, and everyone would be paying a price from North America to Europe, and even you in Pakistan. So this is going to be a very different scenario, especially when an election is just a month. And in these circumstances, with election just around the corner, the Biden Harris administration would never want the prices to go up. So my feeling is that they would try and control things in the Middle East, so that at least in these 1 month, the next 1 month, the prices don't shoot or don't spike or don't skyrocket. But if it does, the result would be disastrous. It is the least that one could say. You see, as I said, how we are involved as far as Pakistan is concerned. Number one, there are many people, or at least some people, who have been saying that Pakistan should get involved militarily. Now that is beyond comprehension. Why everyone looks at its own benefits, and what is our benefit in getting involved into that? So that for sure. But there would be some voices like that. So we will have to contain that. Pakistan is already an unstable society, so we cannot, and Pakistan's economy is literally stuttering. We cannot continue taking loans from IMF and making it wonderful. What an achievement that we have made. We have made no achievement. We have to pay all this money back, and how? That's a very difficult question to answer. So Pakistan's economy would suffer. Now, depending upon the pricing, if the prices go up, we suffer indeed tremendously. That will have to be passed on. So if the price of petrol, let's say, is 200 rupees per liter today, it might skyrocket. To what extent, it would all depend upon the global economical situation and global market prices of crude. The only possibility is that if it goes down, that would only happen when prices, when the markets, the scenario, the political scenario, the geopolitical scenario gets back to normal. Then slowly and gradually, there were people who were already talking of that the possibility of oil reaching $50 a barrel rather than $70, $75 a barrel at this moment are getting more than $100. So the possibility was that the prices of oil would go down to somewhere around $50, $55 a barrel. And if that would have happened, we would have gained, we would have taken a sigh of relief. That would have helped Pakistan and other oil importing countries. But in case that does not happen, in case this sort of scenario continues, in case this sort of war theater continues to widen, then the oil prices, oil markets would literally be wavy. It will be going up and down, and we will be faced with a real crisis. But we need to be prepared. The problem is that we don't have any reserves. India has built up huge reserves of oil. We needed to build it up. We never, even if Pakistan cannot sustain a long war because of lack of diesel supply. So all these things Pakistani thinkers would have to sit down and think of in long-term plan. But at this time, if prices spike, we are in for bad times.